Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video I will show how I managed to get to rank veteran, which is the rank 22 in GBL. I know in this time where almost everyone who's famous is going through and becoming legendary rank, but for me reaching rank 22, which is the veteran, has been at least the minimum goal for this season, so I managed to at least reach that. And it's funny how I actually was almost veteran at the end of Ultra League, and I was at if you see my video at with the Articuno video, I was at 2478. Since then I did a bit of Holiday Cup, and then when Great League returned back, I just was not having a good time. My lowest I went down was 2105, so I went down almost 370 odd points. And this team actually, with the updated move and me getting Jellicent, was one of the main player of this team. I managed to climb up 340 points exactly in 3 days. So I'm not going to show you just one set. What I will show is like the common leads and how I went around to, how this team actually managed to push me through that to that barrier, and now I have reached veteran. So hopefully, because there is still time, I'm going for expert next. So yeah, the first one is where we see is the first video. Here is one of the most hardest counter to Bastiodon you can see is Swampert. So I quickly switch into Toxicroak, and they switch into Sableye, and I do a mistake of going Sludge Bomb. I should not be going Sludge Bomb, but it's fine. I got the shield. And here I will have to go down in shields, but I will have to just throw the mud bombs off. The whole process of this team is to make sure that Bastiodon can line up into something which is positive, and Bastiodon being Bastiodon, it actually outlasts a lot of Pokemon. So yeah, I actually do the alignment right with Shadow Swampert. If they had Earthquake, this would have been a much closer game, but because they have Hydro Cannon and Sludge Wave, as you see here, it doesn't do much to Jellicent. In comes with Abomo Snow, and here Abomo Snow can't really do too much to Bastiodon. I will try to farm down. It still will go and become a very close game, but it's fine. I'll farm down, and here, if they had more energy, Energy Ball may have actually come to carrying me, but that's fine. It actually prevents the Swampert farming too much, so I quick switch, and a Shadow Ball will be enough to kill the Swampert. So okay, so that was one of the biggest lead of Swampert into Bastiodon, like unfavorable lead. And next we'll see Azumarill, and Azumarill again is one of the Pokemons, or no, actually we'll see is Obstagoon. Obstagoon again, counter. I do struggle with this team. If it's a pure fighter, Obstagoon being a pseudo fighter doesn't actually hurt as much, but if it's a pure fighter, I have struggled, especially if it's Sirfetch. The whole team actually struggles against our Sirfetch. And the other Pokemon I have really struggled is regular Universe Stunfisk. That's that one Pokemon I just cannot do anything about. But here, yeah, I align myself with Wigglytuff, and in comes Obstagoon, and I go for Stone Edge. And because Obstagoon is not a fighting type, the Stone Edge actually does quite a lot of damage. And in comes Alolan Ninetales, which I have seen quite a lot of Alolan Ninetales ever since the move update with Charm and or Powder Snow. More with Powder Snow than Charm, but yeah, they're still there, where Bastiodon absolutely walls that. So, but I do quick switch, and I let Jellicent beat the Alolan Ninetale, and that one Bubble Beam here will come in handy, because that allows the attack to fall down, and because it's a CMP tie, they do throw, and that also allows them to have less energy. Here I will have to shield because if they have cross chop, which they do, would have done a lot of damage. Here I'm just hoping my smackdown would have been enough to take it out. So yeah, 2 unfavorable lead and managed to come back from that. So the other lead, which is very common here, is Azumarill. And you see Azumarill, if they don't have Hydro Pump, Bastiodon can actually hang with it, especially with the nerf of Bubble. I tried to catch a Hydro Pump there, I was counting, and they do end up throwing the Hydro Pump. In comes with Skarmory, and because of Bubble Beam, it's not a bad matchup, because now they have to throw the Brave Bird if they want to take me out. So I go for the Shadow Ball, which does quite a lot of damage. And here I will not shield because anything they throw will take me out. So okay, the Brave Bird comes in. I get a little bit of energy farm from there, and in comes Stunfisk. So here, this is where I make a big mistake. In other ways, I have actually managed to win against this line very well, but here I just quit because I thought they will bait me with Rock Slide, but they didn't. But yeah, sure. But if you go in other places, it would have been fine. Hypno. That's another Pokemon which I have seen quite a lot of, and loads of them are actually running Focus Blast. So as you can see here, they're actually going for the Focus Blast, or at least they're bluffing the Focus Blast. And then in comes Scrafty. So as long as you align Toxicroak with Scrafty, there is no problem. Toxicroak can completely wall Scrafty. Toxicroak is not a very tanky Pokemon, but it's one of those Pokemon, any charge move it throws is fine. And it's also because I have very low health, it is good because the Hypno does not get too much farm from me. But I thought they would come from Hypno, but they didn't. They come in Drift Blim, which is okay. At the moment I go for Sludge Bomb because both are resistant and they'll do more damage. So, and now I can align Bastiodon with Drift Blim, and whatever it throws I'll be able to tank it. Literally Bastiodon being a tank. I do shield here because I knew I had a Stone Edge, so I wanted to throw the Stone Edge off. In comes Hypno, and if it's a Focus Blast I'll let it go, but it's not. It's Fire Plunge, which again is neutral to me, so it's not that bad, so I'll let it through. And in comes Jellicent, and Hex will be enough to just take the game off here. Then they can throw Thunder Punch, and I should be able to survive another Thunder Punch if they were to throw it. So, you know, Hypno, another common lead, but Bastiodon can actually win. So as you can see, even with unfavorable lead, you win, and with favorable lead, this team absolutely dominates. What about Bastiodon because it was still early days with the move update, what about Bastiodon Shadow Victreebel, or what you call is the Grasshole team? So here I have to stain because I could switch into Toxicroak, but Bastiodon is fine to tank it. So yeah, I throw, and then I'm 2 shields up. I don't have to shield anything, but I do shield. Unluckily, I do shield the Acid Spray. I managed to I managed to smack it down, which is fine. Now Toxicroak can come and completely farm the whole Bastiodon. I don't know why the Bastiodon here was there on the 1200 CP. Maybe they used the wrong Bastiodon, but it is the infamous double Razor Leaf or double Grasshole team, but this team handles it very well. And I didn't shield the Flamethrower. Even if I did shield, I would have won much better. So what about Bastiodon with other team which actually hard counters my backline, and how do I play with that? So again, here what I will try to do is try to get a shield advantage. I'm not looking to win the switch, because energy on Toxicroak is much more better than, or energy on Jellicent is better than having the switch, because they pair it with each other very well. So yeah, here this is one of the longest match possible. It's the same as Cresselia versus Cresselia in Ultra League. I don't know, but yeah, or when Little Cup was there, Bronzor versus Bronzor. So yeah, I got the shield advantage. I'm happy with this. So I'll let my Bastiodon go down, and I'll come with Toxicroak and farm up. I got a couple of counter worth of energy. In comes Wishcast, which is not good for me being poisoned. This is super effective against me. So what I do, I throw one Mud Bomb and switch out. And they have a Alolan Marowak, and with shield advantage. Without shield advantage, this match can become an iffy matchup. But with shield advantage and with Bubble Beam, this match is very dominating for Jellicent. As you can see, I can tank even though it's been double debuff, I tanked a Shadow Ball very easily, and all I have to do now is go through Bubble Beam, and in comes the Wishcash. I don't have to shield anything, and that's the right play, because I know that counters will do more damage than what the Jellicent would do, and all I have to do is counter down here. I will double shield, and as you see, they get the last second Mud Bomb, and because I have the shield, I win that game. So the next match, it's Alolan Marowak. It's another thing which Bastiodon can handle, because the Smackdown is doing quite a lot of damage to Alolan Marowak, and because they're now switching out, I have a feeling that they don't want to pair up whatever they have with Bastiodon, so I'm fine with it. What I'm gonna do is I'm looking for a shield advantage here, and I'll do exactly the same strategy I used the last time, but in this time I'll come in with Jellicent and farm down with Hex. And last time I farmed down with last time I farmed down with Toxicroak. But yeah, they come in a grass type, which was Tangrowth, which is spicy, we don't see much, and this is how I should have played the Azu matchup. I should have just shielded the rock slides and go straight Mud Bomb, and because the counter does much more damage, I would have been able to outpace and win that game, but it's fine. And because I have shield here, all I have to do is land the Sludge Bomb, and I do, and that's game over. Next up, we have Stunfisk. This is the Pokemon which it counters all three of my Pokemon. I safe swap into Jellicent, and in comes Umbreon, the biggest wall to Jellicent, what I can do. Here, Ice Beam would have been better to have more play against it, but Umbreon, Jellicent against Umbreon, literally nothing I can do. So here, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna throw as many Bubble Beams as I can to debuff it, so that whatever it throws to my next Pokemon does not have that much effect. Umbreon being a tanky Pokemon, its attack is pretty low anyway. So I got a few Bubble Beam through. In comes Toxicroak. I got a few counter, and I have to stay in. I cannot bring in Bastiodon because Bastiodon cannot do anything against it. So I'm in a shield disadvantage, but an energy advantage, but much generates energy much faster than counter does. Or sorry, Thundershock. It's running Thundershock. Either way, it doesn't matter. So I take the shields out, and here I'm hoping that I'm able to survive one Mud Bomb and throw a Mud Bomb. They quick switch into Umbreon, and I have to quick switch into Bastiodon. And here all I have to do is completely farm down this Umbreon, which is not good because it had a lot of energy from the Jellicent matchup anyway. And I don't even know what the third Pokemon is. So if it's a fighter, it's over for me. But I managed to completely farm it down, and in comes a Psychic type Pokemon, and it's a Cresselia. And I throw the Flamethrower. I should have thrown the Stone Edge. I threw the Flamethrower thinking they'll come back with the Stunfisk, whereas Stone Edge wouldn't have done much. And I throw the Stone Edge here, and they come into their own they come into the Stunfisk, and because I have energy, I come really close to KOing, but not enough. And they throw the Mud Bomb, takes me out. I'm hoping I manage to get to Stone Edge, and I get to it. Timer is almost running out. CMP tie, and Grass Knot will be enough to take me out. But yeah, it almost comes down to very close matches, but If I had one extra smackdown, I would have won. So Galvantula, another very common lead, and it's one of the best lead I can get. In comes Azumarill, and in comes Jellicent. Jellicent completely deals with Azumarill, no problem. No matter what it throws, I don't ever shield the first thing, and then I always go for the second time. I always go for the Bubble Beam, and they usually end up shielding. This time they didn't, so it's fine. And they'll go for Flare Off, and here I'll go for another Shadow Ball, which will take the Azumarill out or take a shield advantage. I don't mind either. And I win switch back. Well, I always had the switch because I had Galvantula. In comes Bastiodon, but they come in with Registeel. Again, I think my opponent plays it badly here. Should be going for Flash Cannon, which would have done much more, but because Lock-On does hardly anything to Toxicroak, all I have to do is shield, have bunch of energy for the Galvantula, throw 2 Mud Bombs, and I don't even have to worry about shielding. I can actually go 2 shield down, and Bastiodon should be able to take Galvantula out. So yeah, I get the shields back. I don't even bother shielding, and in comes Bastiodon and a couple of I mean, they should be going discharge, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing they can do. So next match we have what do we have? We have Pelliper. So this another Pelliper I've seen quite a lot of in the lead because of FP Sticks line. So Pelliper against Bastiodon is not as good as we think because the Weather Ball do add up. In comes Defensive Access, and against Defensive Access, Jellicent pairs very well. I never shield the first one, even if it's Thunderbolt, I can tank it very easily. So I tank the first one. I try to shield bait with the Bubble Beam, and they don't shield, so I'm thinking they will not shield. So I go for Shadow Ball, and they don't shield again, so that takes the Defensive Access out. Here, I want to get shields out in the way, so what I will do, I'll shield here, and then I'll throw the Shadow Ball, and I know they will want to shield this because they're Pelliper, they want to keep the Pelliper to throw some Weather Ball to Bastiodon. I get the last seconds Bubble Beam, which lowered the attack, which in hindsight doesn't really matter that much. In comes Bastiodon, and Toxicroak is one of the best answer to Bastiodon. What I could have done here is completely farmed it down and thrown a Sludge Bomb, but because I know I have Bastiodon in the back and a shield, I'm not bothered. So yeah, I'll just counter, and they'll throw the next Weather Ball, and I'll come in, throw the Stone Edge. I don't even have to charge fully, it should be enough. Take it out. So yeah, couple of very bad leads, and I managed to come back, and that's how I managed to bring those 3 2s to 4 1s and 5 0s, which managed to give me 340 points exactly. So what about Jellicent, the new Pokemon which shows up quite a lot in the lead? So what I do, I try to catch the Bubble Beam, so I do end up catching the Bubble Beam, and here I will go for Bubble Beam of my own to shield bait, and I do get the shield, which is good for me. And because they're running Bubble, I know that it won't be they won't have gotten to Shadow Ball as quickly as I would, and because I'm running Hex, it's actually much better for me, and they're not switching out, which means whatever they have in the back is weak to Jellicent. So what I do, I throw the Bubble Beam here to get the last shield, but I should have thrown the Shadow Ball because they're already shield down, they wouldn't actually shield again. So I let Jellicent through, it has done its job. In comes Bastiodon, and no matter what Alolan Ninetales will do, will have any problem to Bastiodon. So here, as you can see, this is how I should have played the matchup with the Stunfisk earlier in the Azumarill match when we were equal on equal on shields. But yeah, it's fine. This is how you win the games. And And lastly, Sirfetch. This is one thing which I've really struggled against, because I have to safe swap into Toxicroak because I cannot safe swap into Jellicent. That's why I struggle with it, because it's one of the fighter which has 2 super effective move against Jellicent, and that's what I struggle with. As I like using Jellicent as a safe swap rather than a closer or a third Pokemon. So they hard counter me with Skarmory. They go for Brave Bird. I intentionally don't throw so that I can come in with Jellicent, and they have their Drift Limb. So here I go straight for Shadow Balls, which in hindsight I shouldn't have, because they have 2 shield. I should have gone for Bubble Beam, but it's fine. They are also they went for Icy Wind, which is again not good. Here I do manage to get the shield and shield baited right. Here I should have been a bit more daring and not shield the Icy Wind, but I go for, I know I would win. So here I throw the flamethrower and hoping it should be enough. And I know whatever, unless it's a close combat, it would not one-shot me, which in hindsight is actually bad, because you can see the counters takes me out of which little health, but the leaf bed is then enough to take me out. So yeah, that's one lead I've really struggled with in this team. But other than that, those 2 leads, I've actually managed to win most of the leads. So as you can see here, I managed to catch a Froakie, which is always good, and then 2157, and I went from 2177 to 2517. So yeah, this team, I really like this team, and I don't know if I will keep using this team. I want to use separate variant of other teams. I really like Jellicent, and I really like the combination of Jellicent and Toxicroak. So I don't know if you like this form of video, or do you want to show me to show you one set, as I thought I'll show you some unfavorable lead and some common leads. So if you like this kind of video, please subscribe and like comment. So yeah, anyways, thanks, bye.